Blasts kill 3 in Russian city close to Ukraine border Kyiv. Konstyantivka. Ukraine. At least 3 humans had been killed and dozens of homes damaged inside the Russian town of Belgorod close to the Ukraine border, the nearby governor mentioned on Sunday, as Kyiv recounted it may lose its remaining huge bastion in Japanese Ukraine to Kremlin forces. Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov mentioned a number of blasts in the metropolis of nearly 400,000 some 40 kilometers 25 miles north of the border with Ukraine. At least 11 rental buildings and 39 houses had been damaged, together with 5 that were destroyed, Gladkov mentioned on the Telegram messaging app. Senior Russian lawmaker Andrei Klishas accused Ukraine of shelling Belgorod and referred to as for an army response. The loss of life of civilians and the destruction of civilian infrastructure in Belgorod are an instantaneous act of aggression on the part of Ukraine and require the maximum excessive, which include a navy reaction, Klishas wrote on Telegram. Moscow has accused Kyiv of numerous assaults on Belgorod and different regions bordering Ukraine due to the fact Russia's February 24 invasion. Ukraine has now not claimed duty but has defined the incidents as payback and karma for Russia's invasion. There was no instantaneous response from Ukraine to the trendy assault and could not independently affirm the Russian debts. Thousands of civilians were killed and cities leveled because Russia invaded in what Ukraine its Western allies say is an unprovoked battle of aggression. Russia denies focused on civilians in what President Vladimir Putin calls a unique military operation to demilitarize and denazify its neighbor. Russia is focused on using Ukrainian forces out of Luhansk and Donetsk provinces in the Donbass, wherein Moscow-backed separatists had been combating Kyiv, considering that Russia's first army intervention in Ukraine in 2014. Ukrainian troops on the Japanese the front strains describe severe artillery barrages on residential regions, mainly around Lysychansk, the ultimate holdout city in Luhansk. Russian forces seized Lysychansk's sister town Severodonetsk, across the Siversky Donets River, final month after a number of the heaviest combating of the conflict. Rodion Moroshnik, ambassador to Russia of the pro-Moscow self-styled Luhansk People's Republic, told Russian TV, Lysychansk has been added below manage, however brought, unfortunately, it isn't but liberated. Russian media showed video of Luhansk military parading in Lysychansk streets waving flags and cheering. However, Ukraine National Guard spokesman Ruslan Muzychuk advised Ukrainian television the city remained in Ukrainian arms. Now there are fierce battles close to Lysychansk, however, thankfully, the metropolis isn't surrounded and is beneath the manage of the Ukrainian military, Muzychuk stated. Could not independently affirm the battlefield reports. Zelensky advisor Oleksiy Arestovich mentioned Russian forces had eventually crossed the Siversky Donets River and have been drawing close the city from the north. This is certainly a chance. We shall see. I do now not rule out anybody of a number of outcomes here. Things will become lots extra clear within a day he said. Arestovich mentioned, however, that taking Lysychansk could complicate topics strategically for the Russians as they might shed awareness on 6 most important cities in the industrialized Japanese Donbass region, spreading their forces extra thinly. He added, the extra Western weapons come to the front, the extra the picture adjustments in favor of Ukraine. Ukraine has again and again appealed for extra weapons from the West, pronouncing its forces are closely outgunned. Very difficult path, far from the Japanese combating. Russia stated it had hit army command posts in Mykolaiv close to the essential Black Sea port of Odessa, where the mayor on Saturday had stated effective explosions. Ukrainian government said any other missile slammed into an condo block near Odessa on Friday, killing as a minimum 21 humans. A shopping mall became hit on Monday within the imperative town of Kremenchuk, killing at least 19. Zelensky denounced the moves on Friday as conscious, deliberately centered Russian terror and no longer a few sort of errors or a coincidental missile strike. In his nightly TV deal with On Saturday, Zelensky stated it would be a very tough course to victory, but Ukrainians must hold their resolve and inflict losses on the aggressor.